What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with AB Investments. I know this is a much earlier video than usually that you get from me. And the reason for that is because I still have not slept from last night. Many things have been happening and, nothing bad. And many things have developed as well. So I didn't get the chance to sleep yet. So hopefully at some point today, I'm going to try to thug it out until somewhat throughout the night. So maybe I can just, kind of take it all the way until tomorrow. I don't want to go ahead and go to sleep now and then wake up like at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And then now I do the same thing over again. So yeah, so either way, we're not here for this. So let's entertain this Sunday afternoon. I had one of the family members on the day before yesterday's video ask a question, and the question was not actually a bad question. It's just like to think about how it could work out. Now the question was how like they wanted to get my take on what would the AMC squeeze look like if it was to happen right now. Just hypothetical question, obviously, since I'm not a financial advisor, and the individual also knows that, but they just want to, I guess, see that. Now, here's the thing. The one thing you don't want to get caught up in, and this is coming from someone who's been in squeezes before. I'm not going to say I'm a financial, one, advisor, because I'm not, and two, not a short squeeze specialist, like many have claimed in the past. But I'll tell you this, I've been through the AMC rip back in June of 2021, if you would like to consider that as a rip. And in the same time, the things that were leading up to that rip, and I've been a part of Doge rip, I've been part of many different rips, GME's rip, and many of them have one thing in common. They always happen when it's least expected. That's one. Two, when it's happening, you're to expect halts and all that kind of stuff throughout when the market is open, of course, not in the pre-market or the aftermarket. And that's not new news to all of you guys, and indeed probably not even to the individual. But one thing I want you to focus on and step away from, like, what would it be like, because when it squeezes, you will know through extremely crazy volatile numbers, market makers will be squabbling around to try to make sure that they suppress legally or illegally the price as much as possible. But when it's time to cover, like, this is what I mean by a short squeeze. My definition of a MOAS or a short squeeze is probably very different from many other content creators or many individuals out there maybe. But my theory or my outlook on what I would call a short squeeze is when technically covering starts happening, people get margin called, shorts get margin called. And when that covering starts happening, then the price is going to be so rampant, and even between the halts, people are going to be crying and praying to try to jump in into the action, because they're just either waiting on the sidelines or they want to go ahead and try to jump into option plays and all that stuff. So it will happen out of nowhere. But here's the thing I want you or all the family members here to focus on. Focus on this lawsuit that we have, and focus on what we're going through. It's always good to fantasize and imagine things as they happen. But you got to remember, when it does occur, there's no way anyone can tell someone, especially like as a content creator, there's no way you come out and say, for example, set brackets or numbers or where it will go to and it will stop and whatever, because so many different variables dictate the play. Like, how many, like, do they get margined? Do they cover? Is this covering or just share buying, or a massive people like just buying up shares, causing, and high demand causing the price of the stock to go up? So many different variables will take place. But again, pay attention to the lawsuit, because, and this is one thing that I can tell you, the other side will never allow this thing that we're going through right now to finalize without them having the control of the narrative. What do I mean by the control of the narrative? They have to. You guys could probably hear my voice for no sleeping. Like, so broken and deep. I need so much rest. However, they're going to be, like, no matter how this plays out, when they see that the writing's on the wall, and there's always people that knows about something right before it happens. Of course, an advantage over all of retail. That's a topic for a different video, as far as if people want to remember what the feds did back in the COVID era, the blackout phase, and what Jerome Powell and many representatives and Congress members did, that technically was done, actions that were done based upon information that were not supposed to be given to them, and actions that they've made that they were not supposed to have done, based on the insider trading, basically, protocol and the blackout phase. Anywho, the moral of all of that is they will always control the narrative. That's something that they will always have to have. There's no way they will let this go down, and then for the actual reasons to be the actual reasons. So that's what I mean by controlling the narrative. So when they see that this is about to, that's it, it's going to go against them, and we're actually about to have our MOAS, we will have the MOAS, and they will have no choice but to give it. But they will make sure that they have the narrative, or the response is not going to be that, oh, like, so many banks were over leveraged with such and such, and so many short hedge funds were, like, they will definitely say short hedge funds get burned with shorting activity, blah blah blah, but they're not going to mention exactly the severity of the actions that could also bring down the entire system that is behind the curtain, everyone else that is actually involved. What is the wink wink Fed's role? What is the DTCC's role? What is the what is the NSCC's role? What did the SEC do that they knew all about, but they did not do anything about? Those kind of things they will control the narrative about. Not that it would matter to probably many. There is some people I know of, and maybe you know of, that are more like revolutionists, and they do want to get all that out there, and that's what they're after with this whole thing. But I've always made it clear that with this, I've always was in this play for, one, the MOAS, life-changing wealth for everyone, and it's a cause because it is much bigger than just one person. It is just so amazing to be a part of something, or be a part of history that would either never be repeated ever again in this sense, or in this sentiment. So it is at my most honor that I say these words, and I'm very, very, very probably the most honored person to be a part of something like this. And of course, I'm a family's person, and you guys are my second family. So therefore, there's nothing that I won't do for my family, except if obviously, family doesn't ask their family to do illegal stuff. So with that being said, I will end the video with this. Be careful, family. Be careful with FUD and misinformation as of late. There's this crap that I'm hearing that is circulating, that apparently it's supposed to be that apparently if the settlement is approved upon, it's actually that supposedly that the shorts are the people who would pay that for that one share out of every 7.5 shares that every common shareholder owns. And I would like to give a stern warning to even the ones that even approve of it. Even if you're not the one who said it, be careful by approving of it. And just by saying the magical line of "I'm not a financial advisor," there are some statements that you make that you can't hide behind. And just by carrying somebody else's statement as well. This goes for the people who carry that kind of FUD. That doesn't exempt you from obviously, 1, being wrong, being a shill, and 3, being a FUD. There is no such thing as any of that gibberish stuff happening. Why? Because shorts technically only pay for dividends. That is not a dividend. That is a settlement. The only way, and what backs that up, what I'm saying to you guys, and this is to the family mainly, and to all who would like to listen to truth, okay? Not no hype me, bro, trust me, and let's go to the moon and we're gonna be whatever and whatever. Companies can only, especially AMC, since it's in Kansas, the Kansas rule is you cannot issue dividend unless you're in a profitable company, and we're not a profitable company. We're not issuing a dividend. And that 1 share for every 7.5 shares, it's supposedly in that settlement, whether it goes through or not, that is not a dividend share. That's a settlement share from shares that AMC will issue out of the shares that they've already that they're going to roll out. It's just part of the settlement. So no shorts are paying for that rollout or for the settlement fees or blah 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 and all that crap. With that being said, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We have an exciting week. Obviously, the FOMC meeting. I'll catch you guys on the battleground. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to say, please feel free. Put them in the comments section. Much love, AB Investments.